Top 10 times Ellen was in people's ears. Ellen enjoys having a hidden camera in various areas to prank unsuspecting people. Most of the time, she uses celebrities to do the pranks, and today we count down 10 times she was in people's ears. Let us know which one would have been the most embarrassing if it wasn't a prank. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Let's get it going. 10. Kym Douglas. During the Breast Cancer Awareness Months, many outlets including Nordstrom have amazing offers and giveaways. Ellen set up hidden cameras in Nordstrom and sent Kym Douglas to the store with an earpiece. Ellen told Kym to find a fitting expert, and she had to make sure that the specialist pronounced her name correctly. She then intentionally mispronounced the specialist's name and then let out a hysterical laugh.
Kia.
Okay,
Kia.
let's just get on with it. Okay.
Kia.
Oh, it's hot today.
Kym also told her that on her way to the store, she thought about the different boob names and she had unique names for her boobs, Piggly and Tammy.
I named my boobs.
What do you name your boobs?
Pammy.
Do they have one name or two different
Piggly
ones?
and Tammy.
Yeah.
Kym had to order a bra, but she needed to speak to Tammy first, who supposedly said something funny. Ellen told her to say that the bra she was wearing was old, but Kym told the attendant that whatever she was wearing was old. Hilarious. Ellen saved her from further agony and told her to reveal that she was on the show and spoke under instructions. Many talk show hosts get along just fine, and they use their platforms to make the shows more entertaining by featuring each other. 9. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey hosts his show in Chicago, and Ellen took the opportunity to prank the audience members by having Steve say and do anything she told him. To make matters worse, the prank happened during the Ask Steve segment. The first audience member needed advice on how to handle a boyfriend who still lived in his parents' house. Steve's advice was to do the high kicks of life. Of course, that wouldn't solve anything in a relationship. Becca wanted to be creative and teach her cat how to use the toilet instead of the litter box.
And teach my cat to use the toilet instead of the litter box.
Steve told her it was a great idea because he once had an iguana which could brush its teeth.
It's a good idea for your cat.
I once had an iguana that could brush his own teeth.
Stephanie wanted advice because her mother was desperately trying to set her up with her best friend's son. Instead of answering the question, Steve confessed that his mustache was fake. Steve had a hard time maintaining a straight face, but he successfully made it to the end, even though his audience members probably thought he was on drugs. Cops aren't the only people who enjoy a good donut, and the fact was evident when Dunkin' Donuts opened a new outlet in Los Angeles. 8. Ellen's fan. Ellen sent one of her fans to the store and he pretended to be one of the cashiers. Instead of taking orders, he started talking about the heat and how the place was so hot. The customers quickly got irritated and asked if they could get their order.
Can I start ordering now?
Yeah, yes, describe what you want.
Yes.
They ordered 4 donuts, but Ellen's fan put one of each donut into the box and asked if they'd ever been to a Dunkin' Donuts before. Then he told them a joke. What did one donut say to another donut across the street? You donut know me. All the donuts in the box cost 35 cents, and the customers couldn't believe it. The next customer blew his cover and said that she was sure that the cashier was following instructions from Ellen.
Pretty sure Ellen is telling you some things.
Why do you think that?
Why do you think that?
She watched Ellen every day and understood how she did the pranks. Well, she was right, and everyone in the store got donuts, courtesy of Ellen. Some people feel that prank interviewing someone for a job is harsh, but let's have a look at how Jenny from the Block did. 7. Jennifer Lopez. Ellen set up an office for J-Lo and told her to interview a new assistant. Scott walked into the office anticipating to get a job. She asked Scott if he was intimidated by strong, beautiful Latina women and didn't allow him to answer the questions.
Are you intimidated by strong, proud, beautiful Latina women?
Okay, so are you intimidated by a strong, beautiful, proud Latina woman?
No.
Then Jen brought up her fragrance and asked Scott if he'd wear it if he worked for her. She pretended to be very disappointed when Scott couldn't mention any of her songs, which was quite a shame because how would he be J-Lo's assistant if he didn't know any of her songs? Scott sat still throughout the job description, which included long hours, weekends, lots of scheduling, and nothing crazy. Well, except shaving her legs. Jennifer and Scott had a meditation period and a silly prank call. He did well throughout the interview. Then the next person, Emily, walked in. The drill was the same but a bit shorter. Jen then summoned Scott back into the office and told them that they were on the Ellen Show. Scott looked genuinely disappointed because he was hoping to get a job. While we're still on interviews, let's have a look at how the next celebrity interviewed for a nanny. 6. Emma Watson. Emma was looking for a nanny, but not for her children because she didn't have any. She wanted a nanny for herself. When the nanny walked in, Emma told her that she got the idea from The Bachelorette, and luckily she could relate. She then told her how she loved some of her food and said that she could comfortably use the potty on her own.
Don't like crusts on sandwiches.
I don't like crusts on sandwiches.
Don't like milk, but I like Red Bull.
I don't like milk, but I like Red Bull.
Watson told the nanny that she'd want her to be part of the family because a family that laughs together stays together. Then she let out a long, crazy laugh. She also cried, had a huge candy snack, and threw a little tantrum to complete her big baby act. The nanny knew that if she got the job, her days and nights would be long and tiring, but unfortunately, when Emma was looking at the mirror, she revealed that they were on The Ellen Show. Ellen had a bit of a falling out with Caitlyn Jenner because of her opinion on LGBT marriages. But that didn't mean that she couldn't have a little fun with the rest of the Jenners and Kardashians. 5. Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner walked into the 99 cents and took a cart at the entrance which already had selected items. She walked up to the cashier and pulled out the first item, a coconut, then some razors. They were rounded off to the nearest dollar, and Kris said that was how they got people. However, she'd take the blades because she shaved her back. Kris had another secret to tell the cashier. Mama was broke, but she was too blessed to be stressed. She then laughed hysterically and did a special finger dance for the cashier. Customers had already lined up behind her, and they thought she was either drunk or insane. When they figured Kris wouldn't leave, they all went to a different cashier. Kris took a bar of chocolate and tried it without asking, then picked the trash can and asked how much wine could fit in it. Her cart also had a special gift for Kanye, a rapper, because he's a rapper. The friendly cashier politely said she was closed, but Kris wasn't done yet. After wearing the robe, she revealed that Ellen was telling her what to say. It's still a wonder how celebrities agree to act stupid under Ellen's instructions, but one thing's for sure, they're amazing actors. 4. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars was in his dressing room waiting for a nurse who was about to have the time of her life. Bruno requested for a medical checkup before he went to the stage. Immediately she walked in, Mars asked her to take her shoes off because it was a no-shoe zone.
Could you take your shoes off, please? It's a no
shoe zone.
No shoes.
But she said she couldn't take them off because she was a nurse. Bruno then told Deborah that his name, when he wasn't on stage, was Ramon, and he also asked her about her training. There was something wrong with his throat, and he hadn't eaten anything since the Super Bowl. The nurse didn't know much about the Super Bowl, except that it involved football. He also told her that she had to wear 2 pairs of gloves before touching his throat. Then he started crying and miraculously got healed when Deborah consoled him and revealed that she was on the show. A prank could easily send the wrong signals and leave a person who was hoping for love a little disappointed, as was the next case for the next scenario. 3. Neil Patrick. Ellen sent Neil Patrick to Target to try out the new Bubbly. She put a cast on his arm to make things a lot harder and enjoyable. Neil walked to the Bubbly shelf while singing and asked the other customers if they'd help him. They walked away, but one man decided to be a gentleman and helped him out. He recognized Neil, and he knew that he was gay like he was. Neil invited him to his party and asked him what he thought about the drink. The man told him that people would probably prefer alcohol at a party, but he opened one bottle for Neil and they both tasted it.
Well, it depends on the bubbly. That's the kind of bubbly I would drink, but they might want alcohol.
They opened another box and drank the lemon flavor, and then the nice guy wiped Neil's mouth after pouring the bubbly into his mouth. It sure looked like he was hitting on Neil and felt disappointed when Neil revealed that they were on The Ellen Show. I wonder how it would have played out if Ellen continued the prank a little longer. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. That's one of Ellen's jokes for the next segment with one of the greatest pop stars. 2. Adam Levine. Adam Levine was waiting for food delivery from across the street, and he had to speak very softly because he was saving his voice. He also wanted very soft food and asked if the delivery guy brought any soup. Adam tasted the onion soup and said it was too hard. He also ate the pasta and said it was also too hard. Adam then asked for his tea, but he couldn't shout, so he asked Izzy to go to the hallway and call Stella. When Izzy went back to the dressing room, he asked for bread, but then he just kept it in his mouth without chewing because the gluten would soak in. Adam tried another pasta and then asked Izzy to call for Rhonda on the hallway. He then told him to yell, saying he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and he followed all the instructions. It was hilarious, but Izzy's patience was rewarded with a big tip. Our number one pick is when Ellen was in Adele's ear. Adele is not only an incredible singer, but also an amazing actress.
I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really works.
1. Adele. Simone went into Warner Brothers store and said that Adele was about to walk in and shop, but everyone needed to act normal. She wanted to order a large jumbo juice, but in a small cup. Adele didn't like any of the flavors, but she ordered all of them for the rest of the crew. Then she noticed some wheatgrass and took out a pair of scissors from her purse to chop some. Ellen instructed her to put the grass in her mouth and say she felt like a deer in the forest and started making deer sounds. She then reached for a brush in her purse and told Simone to brush her hair. The cashier was very confused and wondered if he should ask her to order or watch in amazement. Adele dumped everything in her purse on the counter, and she had all sorts of things, including handcuffs. She told the cashier that Ellen would pay the bill because she's been telling her what to say all along. He was so relieved because he tried so hard to put up with her. Thanks for watching, and have an excellent day.